So in this video, I'm going to solve the second example of finding the data which is an missing angle using the law of cosine. And I wrote law of cosine right over here that we already learned it in the last video, that c squared. If it's c squared, if you want to know this angle right over here, c squared should be opposite side of it, which is 14 in this case, is equal to a squared or b squared, except for c squared, there are three sides. This length or this length should be a or b, minus 2 times a times b times cosine of the data. And if you were to solve this question right over here, they asked us to find data and round your answer. The data is right over here. It is a missing value, and let's simplify this this triangle in order to find the data and apply this law of cosine. And we are already told that c squared is opposite of the angle that we want to find, which is equal to 14. And so if you apply this law of cosine, it's gonna be 14 squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. I'll just call this length a, and I'll call this length b. And a squared, I'll call this length c. 14 squared is equal to a squared, which is 15 squared, plus b squared, which is 8 squared, minus 2 times a, which is 15, times b, which is 8, times cosine of data. We don't know the data right now. And if we simplify more, we're gonna be equal to, what is 14 squared? 14 squared is equal to 14 times 14, which will gonna give us 196. Is equal to 15 squared is equal to 225, plus a squared is equal to 64, minus 2 times 15 is 30, times 8 is equal to 240, times cosine of data. So if you were to put parentheses right over here, not to be confused with the expressions. And if you simplify furthermore, it will gonna be equal to 196 is equal to this equation right over here, 225 plus 64 is equal to 289, and then minus 240 times cosine of data. And we need to isolate cosine of data in the right side and remove all the expressions in order to find the value of data. And we can subtract 289 to the both sides to keep it equal sign. And in the right side, the 289 we're gonna cancel out, and in the left side right over here, it will gonna be equal to 196 minus 289. We're gonna be equal to, it will be negative sign, it's gonna be equal to negative 93 right over here, and it will gonna be equal to negative 240 times cosine of data. Negative 240 times cosine of data. And we can divide cosine of data, minus 240 to the both sides in order to isolate cosine of data. And for the left side, this negative sign we're gonna cancel out because it's negative. And in the left side, we're gonna be equal to 93 over 240. Is equal to this term will be cancel out, and it will gonna be equal to cosine of data. And we can divide cosine to the both sides. Divide by cosine. And in the right side, I'll just write right side to left side. We're gonna be equal to data is equal to. Let's see, we learned that if we divide cosine in order to leave data in the left side or right side, it will gonna be the reverse trigonometric function, which will gonna be cosine -1. -1 shows the inverse of 93 over 240. And if we calculated this expression right over here, we could get the answer. And I already typed the answer and I wrote it here. And so let me put this number right over here. It's cosine -1 of 93 over 240 is equal to 67.2, on and on and on. And if we round my answer, I'll just round my answer to nearest degrees. And it will gonna be equal to just 67 degrees. So answer right over here is equal to the data is approximately 67 degrees. And we found the answer. We just used the law of cosine to find the angle data. And we made an equation and we simplified it. And we got the final equation right over here. And we finally got the answer. The data is approximately 67 degrees. And this was crazy math. And we are done.